The real issues are us right now and how we cope with things. It's funny, I was talking about frustration, how we all get frustrated with ourselves. And, listen, first you start frustration on the system or whatever you're lashing out at, your boss or your job. And then you throw the frustration on yourself and it just grows. Okay. So now you get out of the frustration zone. You have a long talk with yourself. You write down what you need to do to change and you put your plan into action. Now what's next? You got expectations. This weekend in Charlotte, I learned something. I learned that my last year, I executed it how I wanted. I stuck to my plan, and now I'm seeing the results. In Charlotte, I did 5 shows, and each show was better than the last one. I'm honest with you guys. I tell you, when I went to New Orleans, I had a bag of shit. In Columbus, I had good shows, but in Charlotte, for some reason or another, my energy was right on. The execution, the material was right on. I even got to improvise in the beginning of a couple shows because I had some people that I grew up with in the audience, and I wanted to explain to them, how I incorporate all that into my act and whatnot. I talked about the number 1 bus and growing up with the fucking junkies and all this shit. But my point is this, last year I got the opportunity to shoot a Netflix special, and you guys were very happy and you guys were very supportive, and I tried to work as hard as I thought I could work, but I did it all wrong. I put different pressures on me from different directions that weren't necessary, but that's not here or there. The most important thing was what I did about it. When I got on that plane, like I've said 1,000 times, when you see these guys lose in MMA and they're sitting on the mat and they're like, well, he got knocked out. Why isn't he getting up? He's fine. He's hearing a couple birds and shit, and his vision's a little fucked up. He's thinking about the things that he did wrong. That's what that flight was for me. The night after I shot that Netflix special, and I want to thank Netflix for giving me the opportunity and everything, I just didn't prepare for it the right way mentally, and I fucked myself. That's it, and it happens in life. Even at the 27-year mark of comedy, or the 26-year mark where I was at that time, I fucked myself, and that's why we live and we learn. You're never going to stop learning if you live every fucking day. If you go for it, you're not going to learn. But if you live, even if you fail, you're going to learn, and then you could either give up or build yourself up and attack that thing that you had. And that's exactly what I did. I came back, and I knew the plan. I knew that the new plan was going to be, I was going to try to write 1 line every day, 1 line. And number 2, I was going to try to just perform at the Comedy Store. For some reason, I had put a fear in myself about going down to the Comedy Store and not trying new material. That was all bullshit. Those were excuses I just gave myself. At every level in our lives, we give ourselves excuses. It takes things to smack us to get away from those excuses. So the last year, and you could ask Lee, you could ask anybody, I pretty much stayed at the store. I think I've done 3, maybe 4 spots outside the store when I'm in LA. The store is my fucking grounded. When I'm in New York, yeah, you guys will love to see me at the Cellar, and I go to the fucking Dangerfields. Why? Because it's the bottom of the fucking barrel. It's the original room. It's 8, 10 people, and you got to work from a different perspective. You can't work from the perspective of your strength. You have to work from the perspective of your weakness. But anyway, when I came back, I set a plan in motion. I set the same plan up. When I reevaluated that Netflix performance and what happened and how I led up to it, it also made me reevaluate the podcast. And we stopped with the marijuana and we stopped with the edibles. It made me reevaluate where I was slipping in a lot of areas. And we executed it. I stuck to it. I'm only going to the store. I only want to follow Dalia. I only want to follow Ali Wong. I only want to follow Sebastian. I only want to follow Bill Burr. I only want to follow Ron White. And I only want to follow Joe Rogan. That's it. Plain and simple. Lately, I've been following Theo. That's exactly the way I like it. That's even better for me, a change in energy. Somebody with a draw, These are the things I force myself to do. Do you know how many nights I'm sitting at my couch at 8:30 and I got to go do a spot at fucking 10 o'clock and I got to follow 3 heaters You know what it takes for me to put my fucking shoes on those nights? And you know me, I don't just put my shoes on. I take a whole fucking shower. And while I'm in the shower, I'm actually getting into character, preparing to go to the fucking store. Preparing. Like, that's how seriously I take the store after 22 years. When I go down there, it's to go to fucking war. It's like going to Jackson Winklejohn. It's like going to America's Top Team. You've been fucking around in your garage for years, and it served you a purpose to a certain level. Now you have to force yourself into that fucking level. Part of your expectations is forcing yourself. It's not what you want to do, what you believe in. It's forcing yourself. You know, flying fucking sucks. Flying sucks at every fucking level. It's whatever hours of your time going into the unexpected. What's the unexpected? The plane could go down. They might lose your luggage. They don't have a part. Your flight's fucking delayed. You know what? I love doing comedy so much, I overcome that. Like, it doesn't apply to me. When I get on a plane, I go fucking prepared. I bring all my shit. So at not one point do I think about what's going on right now. I'm on a fucking tube that's closed, and I'm flying through the air at 40,000 fucking feet, which is pretty goddamn scary. I don't like doing that, but you do it. You force yourself to do the things you don't want to do. It's very easy for me to get in my car and drive 2 miles to Flappers, and on the way back, stop and get a fucking donut. And it's even easier for me to go to the fucking guys. Guess what? It's even easier for me to go to the fucking Laugh Factory, because all I really got to do is fucking go down the hill, hook a fucking left, hook a right, and I'm right in front of the Laugh Factory. I pull up, I give the little valet $10, and I tell him I'll be out in 15 minutes. And still, I refuse to go to any of these places. Not because they're bad places. Not because I don't like the management, I don't like the club. I love the fucking improvs. The improvs have made me who I am, work-wise. I work, 20 weeks a year at a fucking improv? But my workout, my home, my true soul, where I get to be a fucking animal and nobody says a word to me about it, is the Comedy Store. So that's how I wanted to train. When I go to the Comedy Store, I go to the Comedy Store to be a fucking animal. When you guys go to when I used to roof, for example, I worked for a company from Monday to Friday, and we did flat roofs. For anybody who knows anything about what I'm talking about, there's probably roofers listening to me right now. We did flat roofs, and we specialize in ballasted roofs, which roofs are made from rubber, and then you put rock on them to hold them down. You have to you have to flash all the pipes and the fucking air conditioners and the heaters and all that shit. But basically, you lay the fucking thing down, you put the rubber, you put rock on top. On the weekends, I would go to neighborhoods. Because in Colorado it always hails. I had a wife, I had a kid. I think at the time as a roofer, when I started, I made $600 a week. I was making $15 an hour, whatever, times 40 hours a week, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's 600.
That's 600 a week. I was making 600 a week. That's 2,400 a month. They were paying me cash. So I was basically making 2,400 a month. So to supplement my income, I would roof on the weekends. And I would roof residential homes, a garage with a fucking house, an extension. Now, most people look at those houses, a regular roofing company would look at those houses and say, if I bid it and I did it, it would take me 4 days. Well, guess what? Me and another guy would do those houses in 2 days. We would go up there on a fucking Saturday, tear off the existing roof, fucking take all the nails out, clean the fucking wood, put the fucking new rubber on it, leave it overnight, and then the next day come back and put all the shingles on there. I don't know how many fucking square feet and how many packages of shingles there were. I can't remember now. But I know between me and him, it was a lot more than what a whole fucking company would do with 4 guys in 4 days. Okay, when I was doing the rubber roofs, we were doing 40 square yards a day. And we were tearing up also. We were tearing up a 32,000 year fucking double black tar roof. If you're in the business, I don't have to tell you how heavy that is. We would cut it into fucking with a saw into the roof, into like 5 by 5 pieces, and 2 guys would pick them up and put them on a cart, and another guy would pull the carts to the edge of the roof and throw them off. It was fucking tremendous. I was in the best shape of my life. We would do 40 squares a day. That was my brother-in-law, and the reason why he owned 40 to some people, you're like, Joey, how many people would you have on this crew? We had 5 motherfuckers on this crew. That's a lot of work every day for fucking 5 guys. But if you know anything about my brother-in-law and how good of a worker and a roofer he was, we could have probably done 60 squares a day with 1 extra guy if you would have let him. But you have to space out the jobs. You have to space out the jobs unless you're that busy. He wasn't that busy. It was a 1-year commitment on this roof. So we said, fuck it. We'll fucking, take our time on the roof. My point is that on the weekends, I could have done those roofs in 4 days. I did them in 2. I went there to work. I knew that I had to finish this by Sunday at 7 o'clock for us to get a check, because we had regular jobs on fucking Monday. We had regular jobs on Monday at 8 o'clock. So what I'm trying to say to you is, when I went on these jobs on Friday, on Saturdays and Sundays, I was a fucking animal. We would put the radio on and not even talk to each other. There was no jokes. There was no nothing. We would eat on the run. Like when I went down the stairs, and when he would go down the stairs, he would go, "Are you hungry? Yeah, bring up a sandwich." We wouldn't even take an hour for lunch. We were fucking animals. And we didn't give a fuck. It was a different game. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? When you work for yourself and when you work for somebody else, it's 2 different head fucking spaces. You'll really learn what labor is. So when I'm on the road, it's a different mentality. When I'm at the store, I'm going down there to try new material, mixed with old material, and I got to follow 8 fucking killers. When I'm on the road, I follow an MC who's just starting out. He may be doing comedy 1 to 2 years, and I got a feature act in front of me that could be of any denomination. He could be a headliner for all the fuck I know. But when I'm at the comedy store, you see 5 headliners in a row before I go up. That's tough work. That's tough work. I got to make sure those 5 guys aren't doing something that I'm doing, something in the same vein. Plus, my job when I go to the comedy store, as much as I don't want to be as honest about this as I can, because I don't want you guys to think, for me, it's a competition. But when I go to the comedy store, there's 200 people in the original room audience. And I go there to do one thing and one thing only. That's my practice. I go there to be remembered. I go in there just the same way I go in there for a comedy showcase. I don't go in there to destroy the room. I go in there so I stick out from the 12 comics you're about to see that night. What the fuck are you giggling about? Nobody...
Why did you like him? What did he do?
He did an error.
I knew a second ago, but now it's... Just keep going from where you told it, because then...
Okay. You know that little forehead you got?